You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw a lasso around it and pull it down.
Put that coffee down.
I'm a British nanny, and I'm dangerous.
It don't matter if you win by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning.
That was totally wicked!
Absolutely love having our next guest on. She is Senator Heather Gustafson. Senator, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No, it's our pleasure. Weather where you're at, good? This is amazing. We're into whatever, mid-October.
Yeah.
Still 70-something degrees. Yesterday went golfing. I mean, This has been a pretty nice little winter, or fall, has not?
Yeah. I mean, for me, too, I woke up this morning and it's raining. I kind of like one of those good, crisp, rainy fall mornings, too. Those are so nice. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, I'm with you. It's been good weather. Thank you for coming on. Some of the stories, and I'm going to be completely honest with this first one, which caught my eye yesterday. I've had somebody, I want to say her name was Nancy, I don't remember, it was an email sent to me saying she used to work for a funeral home, as I understand it, and how this worked, or maybe it was the county and they got it. The story yesterday, Minnesota Secretary of State Steve Simon, according to NPR, is supporting a new bill in Congress to prohibit removal of people from state voter rolls without evidence of a change in status. It would ensure that voters will, be on the rolls, won't be taken off without their knowledge. I don't understand this one. One of it is he shouldn't be removed reliable evidence that they have died or moved to another state. Here my dad passed 4 months ago, and the funeral home, they go to the state of Minnesota, you get a legit death certificate from the state, and then they charge you, how many real ones do you want? Because you're going to have to send that to the bank and the this and the that. And how many copies can you get? Because that's cheaper. So we did this whole conversation about this. And my opinion was that since that's coming from the state, the death certificate, that the state knew Dad was passed, right? And I presumed he was just then taken off the voter rolls. I mean, I really never thought about it before, but I just felt that was probably the way that is. If we're looking for a law to do that, are we saying that doesn't happen that way now? This gal said she thought it did, at least in her county.
Yeah. So I just on the brief overview, the BUILD Act does not allow. The bill explicitly permits removal of voters who are confirmed to have died, permanently moved out of state, or otherwise become ineligible. For instance, a felony status. So It does do that. It's not talking about death records. It's not talking about making voters who aren't with us anymore eligible to vote. That isn't it. What I'm looking at here is it says it does not allow mass or automatic removal. So you can't do an automatic removal of voters simply because they didn't respond to a postcard or they missed an election or some sort of a flawed cross.
Maybe, and I'm not a big government guy. I really don't want the federal government getting involved with this, but I'm going to throw this at you because I think it would make some sense. Yeah. In today's world, 2025, Al decides he's moving to Iowa. Why? Yeah. Who knows? But let's say I do. I get up and I move to Iowa. I got to load all my stuff. I got to move the thing. Got to get kids registered to school. Like, you got things. Yeah. The last thing I got to think about is, does Steve Simon know I'm moving and to take me off the voter rolls in Minnesota? Would I send him a note? Here's my point.
No.
I think the federal government gets
it. You also wouldn't vote. And so if you're moving to wherever you just said, you wouldn't vote in Minnesota. So
my point is sometime you would fall. I guess here's what I'm asking is the system. I'm obviously not calling in. If I sign up to vote in Iowa, does the Iowa Secretary of State send the list? Hey, here's Al. He's with us now. Take him off your rolls. Which to me could happen with a computer verify it's Al, he signed up, could do that. Is that how it happens? Or is it Al doesn't vote in Minnesota for 2 elections, 3 elections, and he just goes away? Are there those things in play?
There is something, data that is aggregated every year, and it's called the National Change of Address Data, and it does that stuff. So if you're we're empty nesters now. One of my daughters just moved to Chicago. Okay, so in Illinois, you have 30 days to get a new license. Like their
I think that's the same in Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
And so So, she went and she did that. That then goes into this person has changed their address. And so then I know too, because we are just in the middle of a school board race here in my district. So she does not show up now. Whenever we get mail, like for
Yep.
candidates, it's my other daughters who still live here. It's me, it's my husband. It's not her. So there is that. I mean,
So what is the bill trying to, do we have any idea what this bill is fixing then? If those things are in place, it seems, what are we doing?
Because it's trying to get rid of those like purging of the voter rolls. We already know that people registering to vote is one of the barriers to getting them to vote, right? Like if you ever, I don't know, like as a former high school teacher trying to get newly 18-year-olds to go vote, they're like, oh, it's like, I don't know how to do it. I don't, like it's a problem to get people to like participate in our democracy. So we're saying that you can register to vote. You still live here. You're still able to vote. Just because you missed an election doesn't mean that you're not eligible to vote for the next election. And so what the Trump administration wants to do is kind of come in and like go through our voter rolls and purge out people who have either like not responded to whatever the like things are that are make sure that you are like still there. You can move. Like I live in Van Ness Heights. I could move to White Bear Lake. I'm still eligible to vote in my district, in my state, but maybe I don't respond to a postcard about voter registration. That does not mean I'm not an active voter.
No, I guess both sides should want, I presume, and maybe I'm naive, that the voter rolls are clean and pure and as the driven snow, right? That they're good. Mm-hmm. We all should want that. Right. And Steve Simon, and he can come on the show anytime and talk me through the process, says we've got that in Minnesota. We don't have anything to worry about. We take good care of it. And I have no reason to suspect we don't.
Yeah.
But when then Trump says, well, we'd like to cross references, he asks all 50 states to send theirs in. We'll find out who dead people are, whatever. How are they going to do this? Mm-hmm. Why would we say no? Simon had the ability to have Trump say, hey, great job. Keep up the work, good boy. Or there's something there. And then they start with this lawsuit, which seems to cover things we're already doing. My dad gets off the rolls. Might take a couple of months, but he's going to be off the rolls. Or if you move out of state, as soon as you sign up in Illinois, they send a note over to Minnesota and say, hey, we got her now. I guess it seems like a law that doesn't do anything. Everybody seems to be
saying that, we're always rated top in the country for our voter integrity. There are no issues. And if there are issues, they're dealt with very quickly. Our system works. None of that. I think it is sort of wild that we would want to like have the federal government go in and go through our voter rolls when there is no evidence of widespread voter fraud. And it does seem like a huge federal overreach to have.
Isn't that the beauty of America, though? We have 50 test labs, right? 50 different groups get to decide how we do stuff, and we find one like Minnesota that's fantastic. Well, if we don't show the world how it's fantastic and why and that it works, then maybe the rest of the other states won't do it like us. My point is, we should, if we're that good at it, we should be willing to want to share. I'm trying to get through the idea that we don't want the federal government to have our voter information, but I just had my, Real ID done. Mm-hmm. The government knows everything about me. The government knows my type A blood personality. One of those, there's nothing Simon has that the federal government doesn't have on me. But back to my point, why would we have 50 of these? Maybe Alabama sucks. I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing out a name. Hey, look what Minnesota does. They do these 6 things and it's great. That's how we get better. If we're really that good, we should share it.
Right. And I understand if you're going into a state that maybe has had a bunch of recent cases of voter issues. Yeah. We don't have that, right? We don't have that. And I would be the first to step forward to say we need something to change. Oh. But we don't have that. So this is just data pooling. And it's so interesting to have a president who literally back in 2020 was begging the Secretary of State in Georgia to find him 11,000 votes. And now he's coming to our state and saying, we need to go through all of your voter data. We don't trust you. You don't trust us. What about states' rights? What about our choices of like running our own elections, which have been impeccable? We have not had widespread fraud anywhere, despite what people would love to sort of put out there to motivate their own base. He is looking for a way to come in and have a whole bunch of data on our citizens, be able to say who he thinks should vote, who he thinks should not vote. And this is pretty rich coming from somebody who was trying to find votes in Georgia, a state he lost in 2020 so that he could win his
So
election.
this is more, we don't trust Trump. This isn't that it's a good idea for the, I mean, like say, the information the government would have is everything they have. They're not getting, I don't know what they would find out about me that they don't know about me by getting that.
Right.
And the only thing they could possibly find is possibly people who may or may not, let's say they're on the fringe. We got to get some proof that they can vote. There might be a list of those. Why not? Guy didn't sign something. I don't know. There might be, and we don't want to look at that because of Trump. Okay, I can live with that. I got to go to break. I didn't think that would take that whole time. I want to talk to you about where we sit with this special session. It seems like that opportunity might be fleeing. We'll talk about it. I've got her. She's Senator Heather Gustafson on the Al Travis Show.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
If it's your turn to host a game, Grandpa's Barbecue suggests you try something different. Put out the perfect barbecue flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. Add it to your ribs, dip the meatballs, or drench your wings in the original flavor of Grandpa's Barbecue. It isn't too hot or spicy, fruity or smoky or whatever. Grandpa's Barbecue. Available in select stores and online at grandpasbarbecueshop.com.
Don't need to ask him his opinion more than once. Al Travis on the Al Travis Show.
And we've got our Senator Heather Gustafson with us. Senator, is the special session just dead? I mean, this was the talk. We're going to go. I'm going to make them vote one way, and I don't care. And now, oops, hello, not a whisper. Is it just dead? Is it dead on arrival, this special session?
I think so. I mean, I haven't heard anything else about it. I think, was it end of last week that he was asked about it, and it sounded like there was a different change in direction.
Yeah.
So,
where are you on that? Is that okay? And I'll throw it out here, give you time to think about it. I'm okay with us waiting till February. because I don't think in the heat of tough times, kids getting shot at a church is the time to make well thought out decisions. It to me, I think that's okay. Not that I want anything bad to happen between now and then, God forbid, but I think that gives you time. The idea of the special session bothered me just because it's like we don't have time for people's input, that sort of thing. Are you okay with us waiting till February to get back to the work of the business, our people?
I mean, I think we don't have a choice. It's, it's already going to be a really heavy conversation. And then when you add in the fact that we don't have, we're missing members of the legislature.
Yeah.
It's just it's, I don't know that we're going to be able to get something done. And ultimately that's what we're trying to do, is get something done. So yeah. All
right. On that same line, I want to get you in real trouble with your side, so take this for what it's worth. At one point, the governor in all this talk was talking about now possibly, because of all the fraud, getting an independent auditor investigation division set up, which is your bill. You pushed through. You are going for. His only difference, as far as I can tell, still wants that independent person reporting to him. Still a little your thunder, because, I mean, that's exactly what you're trying to get away from. But if you call it the same thing, I don't think most people are paying it particular attention. It's like, oh, good, he's on board. Kind of, but not really.
I mean, I'm nothing changes for me. I think it's great. And again, I've said from the beginning, if anybody wants to tackle fraud with me, great. And so this is, we're not in session. So this is his executive order. And I think it's a step in the right direction. However, this does not change what we're doing. The group that I have assembled, that we are working on, the independent inspector general, we are still pushing to get that passed next session. So
good.
It is, nothing has changed for us. Our goal is still the same thing. And you're right. We want an independent oversight authority, somebody who only reports, essentially to the people, the public. Yeah. That's
because the last one got me, the last fraud, and I don't think we've talked about it since, is that, there was $24 million given to nonprofits that weren't even registered with the state. It was like Al's pro-human form. Send me money. Senator, there has to be a minimum that Al can expect without running the thing himself. That you know what I'm saying? I am so disappointed. I don't even know if it's called fraud. If you seriously don't even have to pretend to be a business, you just send in an invoice and you get paid. It's... I'm sorry. That's the worst.
And I think too, not to make you more angry about it, but I think too, we have to think about all of the people who were genuinely affected by this. I mean, we are looking at different groups of who did this and who did that. Some of those same groups are the ones who are victims of this fraud. They put their children, forward to say, I need help with housing. I need help with, autism support. I need whatever. And then they were also taken advantage of. So it's not the taxpayers. We are all defrauded of the money.
I'm not trying to yell for pitchforks, because that's a 100-year-old thing. But how the public isn't there yet is beyond me. Because you're absolutely right. All of us that pay taxes and it's just being handed to somebody else who evidently doesn't even know the business, that tees me off. If you're one of these people that need the help, the children that needed food for feeding our futures, the home guys, the autism people. If you have a kid with autism today, you should be madder than a hornet that 90% of that all went to somebody else. So maybe I'm missing something. Do you get the feeling people are this teed off as hell, or it doesn't seem like they're that mad?
I do think that they are mad. I think they're going to get madder as they find out. But I think the problem too is that we're going to run into there are lots. I mean, the majority of nonprofits who are actually doing things the right way. And now they also get lumped into this pile of your fraud. And so they're just we aren't you can go through our books or whatever. And so I feel sorry for them too. And I think it's a big mess that we have to untangle.
And do you think it can any way get done without an independent auditor? I mean,
we've
been doing it ourselves for years.
Right. I don't think you cannot keep these changes can't be incremental and internal. You have to have somebody whose sole job is a separate office that can look at things in a neutral way. That's what we need. Yeah,
I completely agree. I love having you on, Senator. I really do. I appreciate you coming on and holding my feet to the fire and being honest with me. I like having you. No, I do. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you too. Thank you.
Get you back on here in a couple weeks.
Braver Angels Minnesota.